Hello everyone, I'm Matt Elliott, and today I'm going to talk to you about Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is a type of dementia that causes problems with memory, thinking, and behavior. Symptoms develop over time and eventually interfere with daily life and tasks. Alzheimer's is the most common form of dementia. Dementia is a general term for memory loss and other intellectual abilities serious enough to interfere with daily life. Alzheimer's disease accounts for nearly 60 to 80% of dementia cases. This disease is not a normal part of aging, though the greatest risk factor for those suffering from Alzheimer's is increasing age. It's not a disease that only affects our seniors, which would be people aged 65 and older. Nearly 5% of people with Alzheimer's are actually in their 40s and 50s. Unfortunately, the symptoms of Alzheimer's worsen over time. It's a progressive disease. The symptoms are mild in its early stages but become drastically worse as the disease progresses. Individuals may lose their ability to carry on a conversation or respond to their environment. It's the sixth leading cause of death in the United States. Those with the disease live an average of 8 years after their symptoms become noticeable to others. However, survival can range anywhere from 4 to 20 years. Age and other health conditions contribute to these factors. Currently, Alzheimer's does not have a cure, but treatment for symptoms are available, and research, is constantly going on. Although current treatments cannot stop the disease from progressing, they can temporarily slow down the worsening of the symptoms and improve quality of life for those with Alzheimer's and for their caregivers. There are clinical trials, alternative treatments, and medications available for memory loss. Diagnosis of Alzheimer's can be quite difficult. While dementia in itself can be more readily diagnosed, Alzheimer's requires careful medical evaluation. A thorough medical history is needed, as well as mental status testing. A physical and neurological exam, as well as other tests such as brain imaging and blood tests, may be required to rule out other causes of dementia-like symptoms. Younger onset or early onset Alzheimer's affects nearly 200,000 people. These are individuals that are in their 40s and 50s. Diagnosing early onset is difficult because the majority of healthcare providers do not look for Alzheimer's symptoms in younger people. Honestly, it can be a very long, frustrating process. Symptoms can be misattributed to stress, or there may be conflicting diagnoses from different healthcare professionals. People who have early onset may be in any stage of dementia: early stage, middle stage, or late stage. The disease affects each person differently, and symptoms will vary. Causes of early onset Alzheimer's include genetics. In hundreds of families worldwide, scientists have pinpointed several rare genes that directly cause Alzheimer's. People with these inherited genes tend to develop symptoms in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. When the disease is caused by deterministic genes, it is called familial Alzheimer's disease, and many family members and multiple generations are affected. These genes account for less than 5% of Alzheimer's cases. All of these genes affect processing or production of beta amyloid. Beta amyloid is the protein fragment that is in the main component of plaques. It is the prime suspect in decline and death of brain cells. Several medications now are in development that target beta amyloid as a potential strategy to stop Alzheimer's or slow its progression. Family history is a known risk factor in the development of Alzheimer's. Research has shown that those who have a parent, brother, sister, or child with Alzheimer's are more likely to develop the disease themselves. The risk increases if more than one family member has the illness. When disease runs in families, either genetics, environmental factors, or both can play a role. The greatest risk factor for the disease is age. After age 65, the risk of Alzheimer's doubles every 5 years. And after age 85, the risk reaches nearly 50%. Currently, there are 10 early signs and symptoms of Alzheimer's. The first sign is memory loss. And unfortunately, that memory loss can disrupt daily life. An affected individual may forget information that they recently learned. They may forget important dates and events, or they may start asking the same information over and over and having to rely on memory aids or even family members for things that the person used to handle on their own. A second sign is challenges in planning or problem solving. Some people may experience problems just completing the regular daily tasks. They may experience changes in the ability to develop and follow a plan or work with numbers. They might not any longer be able to follow a familiar recipe or even keep track of their monthly bills. They may even have trouble concentrating, or it may take much longer to do things than it did at one time. A third sign is difficulty in completing familiar tasks at home, work, or even leisure. Individuals may have trouble driving to a familiar location. They may not be able to manage a budget at work anymore, or remember the rules of a game that they may have always played. I mean, Monopoly. They may not remember how the game works. The fourth sign involves confusion with a time or place. People suffering from Alzheimer's, they may lose track of dates, seasons, and the passage of time. I mean, basically, they could spend hours in one place and think they've only been there for 5 or 10 minutes. They may have trouble understanding something if it's not happening right now. They may also forget where they are or how they got there. The fifth sign involves difficulty understanding visual images and spatial relationships. An affected person may have trouble reading, judging distance, and determining color or contrast. This, of course, may cause problems with driving. A sixth sign involves problems with words in conversation or in writing. A person may stop in the middle of a conversation and become unsure of how to continue and will repeat themselves. They may also struggle with vocabulary or call things by the wrong name. For example, they might call a watch a hand clock. The seventh sign includes misplacing things or losing the ability to retrace steps. A person may put items in unusual places. They may also lose things and are unable to retrace their steps and to find those items again. Because of this, they may even accuse others of stealing. Over time, this will become more frequent. The eighth sign is decreased or poor judgment. They may have bad judgment when it comes in dealing with money, such as giving large amounts of money to telemarketers. They may also pay less attention to grooming or hygiene. So, they may forget to take a bath. The ninth stage includes withdrawal from work or social activities. They may remove themselves from hobbies, social activities, work projects, or sports even. They may have trouble keeping up with a favorite sports team or remembering how to complete a favorite hobby. They may also avoid social activities due to these experiences. The 10th sign involves changes in mood or personality. So they might become more agitated and more hostile than they might have been previously. As research has gone on, there are now pharmacological options available for individuals diagnosed with Alzheimer's. These 3 options for individuals with mild to moderate Alzheimer's are Razidine, Exelon, and Aricept. Research indicates that these medications prevent breakdown of acetylcholine, which is a brain chemical believed to be important for memory and thinking. As the disease progresses, the brain produces less and less acetylcholine. Therefore, cholinesterase inhibitors may eventually lose their effect. So again, these medications are not a permanent solution. They just kind of help slow the symptoms down. Two medications are available for individuals with moderate to severe Alzheimer's. Namenda and Namzaric delay the progression of some of the symptoms associated with moderate to severe Alzheimer's. They may allow individuals to maintain certain daily functions longer than they would without the medications. Namenda is believed to regulate glutamate, which is an important brain chemical. This chemical, when produced in excessive amounts, may lead to brain cell death. These medications, specifically the Namenda and Namzaric, are classified as NMDA antagonists. Because the NMDA antagonists work differently than the cholinesterase inhibitors, the two types of medications can be prescribed in combination. So, to kind of wrap this up, Alzheimer's does affect each individual person differently, and it may take a combination of these medications to help the individual, maintain, life as they know it, and to help slow down the symptoms, so that, again, they're living a normal life, but again, it's helping their family members that are having to care for them as well. Thank you for listening.